Welcome to another video. I'm going to go over something more exciting here today. We were going to go over on how to set up an air agent that will actually be able to send a payment link via text message or email. But what we're going to do first before we get into that video is I'm actually going to give you some ideas to get the juices running on what you can do. So give you an idea. So if you've got a dynamic offer, it's going to be very difficult. So if you've got if you got a huge grid of pricing, you have to be very detailed there. But now you also got to translate that grid into an actual text format. So that's something very difficult. But if you have a price that fits all, that's very static, no matter what the situation is, it's a flat rate. It's actually a much easier for the air agent and building out the script for something like that, building it out would be 10 times easier, 20 times, 100 times, 1,000 times easier. And I do have a couple ideas. So if you already have that, that's a cool thing. You can definitely utilize Air to actually do the sale for you. So not just make the calls, book the appointments, do the call transfer, do customer service. It can actually make sales, actually process sales, process payments by sending a link to receive a payment. So basically what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to jump right in and just show you some ideas on what you could do to actually utilize this air agent to actually make money. So let's go in and take a look. So a lot of this is B2B. The online course is a B2C. I like B2B better than I like B2C, only because B2B you legally can make cold calls. So just keep that in mind. Yet there's state specific rules for cold callings on when you can't do it. So just keep that in mind on what your state and federal regulations are on days you cannot make cold calls. But you can legally make phone calls, a cold call to an actual registered business. Anytime really, not just anytime, but on regulated times. When it comes to a B2C, they actually have to be opt-in, or it's a lead generation company that you bought the lead from, that they opt in there. So that's the difference between a B2B, B2B and B2C. I mean, you could still have opt-in leads to B2B. Obviously, you'll get more people on the phone if they've opted into a lead or a lead that you purchased than you would a cold call. Approximately the difference there is a cold call, you'll probably get 5% that answer versus an opt-in lead or a lead that you bought, or an organic lead would be about 60+% that actually pick up the phone. So to keep that in mind. But the cold call is the easiest way because you can actually get huge amount of lists at a very low cost. But one things I want to let you know is a key component to this is you want to niche down. And what I mean by that, actually target a specific type of business. So that way, when you're building out the script to the air agent, they're talking their language basically. They're not You're not just reaching out to 10 different types of businesses. If you're reaching out to roofers, that you build a script for roofers. You're reaching out to solar companies, you build a script for solar companies. You're reaching out to IT companies, you build out a script for IT companies, etc., etc. So you want to very niche down. But let me just jump right into it on some ideas. So software as a service. What is software as a service? Software as a service is like Loom. I pay, Loom. You pay on a monthly basis for different features. That is a software as a service. Zoom, you pay monthly for the service. You can get a free Zoom. There's a pay features. That is a software as a service. A big one that we talk about on our channel is GoHighLevel. We utilize GoHighLevel for a lot of things. It's a very robust software as a service, very robust, huge. And instead of calling it software as a service, I'm going to call it SaaS. It's a very good. It's a CRM. You can build websites out of it. You could you could nurture your leads. You can do workflow automations. You could do social media marketing out of it. There's like 25 different things you can do out of a GoHighLevel platform that makes it um, very robust. But here's the thing with SaaS, especially when GoHighLevel came out, everyone was selling SaaS. So you kind of got to differentiate yourself in some other way. So that's something you're gonna want to think of. What else do you offer other than this? Because that's especially with Go High Level these days. There's so many out there. You got to make sure you're offering a particular type of thing, not just the 22 features, but something more to that. Obviously, 22 features is nice. Are you going to provide them free training on how to implement that? Are you going to actually help them do the implementation, etc.? So you got to think of the fulfillment. Now you can actually use the air agent to because it's a static sale. If you have with Go High Level, you can actually purchase it at a 297 monthly fee, and you can actually resell it at 100% profitability. They do have their terms of service no less than $97, but you can actually provide every single feature um, right there, and you can actually have the air agent make these cold calls out to a particular type of market you're trying to reach and offer Go High Level, but make sure you have something a little bit more than that, to basically separate yourself from the masses there. The next one, I actually like this one here, the managed service provider, the MSP. It's basically providing ongoing IT support. You could charge a $5,000 monthly retainer. Just make sure you understand what your fulfillment is. And I don't know. I mean, I know IT people. I don't know of them. Not a lot of friends with IT people, but I imagine you're good at fulfilling, right? You're good at IT support. That's what you're good at. Are you good at making the cold calls? Probably not. Are you good at doing the sales? Probably not. Are you good at fulfilling and doing a great job on ongoing IT support? Absolutely. That's what you're good at. Might as well just stay focused on what you're good at, but you can actually program an air agent to actually do the cold calls and the sales for you. If you got a flat retainer fee of $5,000, and if they're interested in it, you can have the air agent sell it, send a payment link of $5,000 a month. They put their credit card information in there, and now you've got a client. Now they can schedule an onboarding specialist, IT specialist, to get them set up. So you can then they can turn around and book an appointment for your onboarding IT specialist that can basically start the service for them. And then basically you're jumping on the phone doing what you enjoy most, which is the IT support, right? Not doing the cold calls and the sales. So that's something you can do. Um, so you got to understand what your max capacity is there. So you got to limit yourself. If it's, say, for example, 6, for example, and you're at a 20, and let's be very modest. So you divide that by, say, 12% is the conversion. So you need 50 people are actually going to jump on the phone and have a conversation. If it's a cold call, it may be about 5% pick up the phone. So you got to look for a list of 1,000 leads within your niche, which is actually less than $100, $200. There's actually lists out there you can purchase for less than that. And then just have the air agent hammer out, make the calls, and you get the 6, and you see the conversions, understand the numbers, you actually make quite a bit of a killing. If you find out that out of the 6, it's costing you through $200 in terms of air costs and Tulio costs to do that, you're making a killing, because your LTV on that, let's say, is LTV stands for long-term value. Let's say that's 12 months. That's $60,000 from, say, a $300 air cost. It's 59,700 minus whatever other overhead you might have in your retainer there that you have to pay for. So that's another one. Affiliation marketing. Go High Level's got affiliation. There's a couple of other SaaS products out there that got affiliation. That's really basic and easy. Again, you still want to niche down and reach out to a particular type of business. And you want to. I would say you want to look at a high LTV affiliation payout. Go High Level is actually pretty good. They do have an affiliation there where they pay you 40%. There's other SaaS products similar to Go High Level, probably not as robust. They pay half, 50%. So there's a lot of them out there. You can utilize the air agent. Again, you still need to separate yourself if that's all you're doing is Go High Level, because again, there's so many out there. So you still need to think of what separates you from everyone else that you can offer. even though if it's just a simple affiliation there. So especially in terms of GoHighLevel. So maybe look at something else out there. GoHighLevel is just top of my head right now. Next is search engine optimization. I actually like this. The best search engine optimization I like is a Google Business Profile. It's underrated. Not many people think as a Google Business Profile as an actual service to get you ranked. It actually there's a method to it to get you up there and up there fast, right? I know a guy that does it, that I can outsource the fulfillment for. It's actually pretty labor intensive, so you got to understand that. But the best way to do it is outsource it to somebody that can do it for you. I know there's a couple agents out there. Test them out, make sure they're good. Um, Check their ratings, see what they've done in the industry that you're targeting. And I can tell you, on average, I could make $255 a month. And you basically get 3 months up front as a flat fee. It's about 22. You get like 2,200, something like that. I don't remember exactly. And your profit on that on a monthly basis is 255. And you get 3 months in advance, because it doesn't really work if you're just getting a monthly. You need at least 3 months. Some businesses, depending on how intense it is in the market, may need 6 months. So that's where it might be a little bit more dynamic, where you might need to jump in, and once you sell the first 3 months, you may need to jump in there after and say, hey, we need to probably do another 3 more months to get it to where it needs to be. So you could definitely do that. You got to understand, when you're teaming up with somebody, ask them, hey, what is your max capacity? Because this thing literally has the ability to meet that max capacity within day one. So you got to set the expectations. How many can you onboard on a given day? I can only onboard 5. Okay, what's your max? 50. So don't give them more than 5 a day, or her, whoever you're outsourcing this to. Just understand what their capabilities are, and just kind of do the reverse math. So if this guy was 50, right? If it's a 20% sale rate, or let's say even more conservative than that, let's say a 10% sale rate, that's 500 leads, and let's say it's a cold call, that's 10,000. Again, 10,000 may seem like a big number, but you can actually get that many leads for less than $200. It's really, getting B2B leads is very inexpensive, because it's all public records. You just got to find softwares that narrow down the niche for you. So, but that's one thing you could do. The next thing is social media marketing. You can literally get a VA that can manage 5 at $500 a month, and you can charge 1,000. That's a $900 profit. So if you do the math, that's $5,000 out of $500. So you're making a $4,500 profit right there. And if your max capacity is managing 10 VAs that are doing social media marketing for your business, well, you do the math. That's $45,000 a month right there that you could do for social media marketing. Human resource outsourcing. You got to understand what your capacity is. Always understand there's a front end, back end to everything. Air is basically going to do all your front end sales, right? And cold calls, front end marketing. So that's marketing. So your front end sales and marketing. You just got to program the script. So human resource outsourcing, target a niche. Your conversion might be a little bit less there. So think about like maybe like a 5% conversion. If charge like it's similar to your MSP, right? Charge a monthly retainer. I don't know what that looks like. Is it 5,000? Maybe it's too low. Maybe it's 10, 15, whatever it may be. But just figure that out. You can literally have a sales and marketing all done by your air agent, just making cold calls to businesses. And you want to have an air agent for each niche. So if you're trying to go after multiple different niches, you certainly can. You just have to create multiple agents. Okay. And then you have accounting, outsourcing. I know this very closely. You can reach out to businesses and do business financials. If you're a CPA, and you're only if you're new to the business and you're only doing taxes during tax season, you got to look into doing financial statements. There's money to be made there, and there's ways to scale it. You can outsource it to India. to those that are just, they call themselves accountants. You need to purchase the software for it as well to help them out with that. And you're probably looking at pennies on a dollar to what somebody would normally pay you for, and making it a pretty well profit. And then you can even turn around and upsell them, an extra $100, $200 a month on top of that to do their taxes every year. Um, um, I've actually done that where, what was it? When I worked for the guy, he was charging like $500 to do someone's business taxes, and that's long. It takes a while. I basically helped change his model where he's doing financial statements. Why don't you charge an extra $200 a month? And he was charging $175 a month for financial statements, and he was pocketing 100% of that. He didn't think about outsourcing it. I got him in touch with the team to outsource it on pennies on a dollar so he can scale that, because he was just one person. So he was able to scale that and then charge an extra $200 a month on top of that. Um, so if you do the math, 200 times 12, that's 2,400 bucks versus the $500 to do someone's taxes. So he changed his business model a bit, and he makes a little bit more money. And when I left the company, I think he still does it. So that's one way you could do it. Um, Online courses, this is more of a B2C, so you got to understand, you got to buy leads, opt in, but you can make quite a bit of money there. I knew a guy that was charging $1,500. He did it all on Zoom. He had 20 people in the class, three days a week, and he did it for a full month. So you do the math there, and he did 5 classes a week. So that's $150,000. If you do the math, if you got a no vacancy, no vacant, no empty slots, and you got it maxed out, which you easily can with this air agent, by enough leads and know what your conversions are, you can certainly get all your rooms filled up and easily make 15. If you're doing 20 and doing 5 classes, 5 classes a week, and I mean, do the math. I think when I did the math, it was about 150 grand. Next one, you got B2B agency, helping B2B businesses get more clients. It's that simple. So you're just reaching out to companies, and then helping them generate more leads. It's that simple. You can actually have the air agent charge like a $3,000 retainer. You can have a max spend of $2,000. So you have to understand what there's a spend for Tulio and there's a spend for air. Approximately it's like 82% to air and the rest is going to Tulio. So just know what that is. And I did the math. You could probably get them generate a business anywhere from 30 to 60 leads on a $3,000 monthly retainer, where it's actually scheduling them appointments. Um, so you could do that, and the sky's the limit, right? There's you can you're managing one area, and it's just copy and repeat. If you go after in one niche, reason why you want to niche down is you can just copy the air agent for all of them, right? So when you got one business that comes in and wants to do it, and you're using the air agent to reach out to their clients, right? So you're using the air agent to do the sale, and they do the sale and they pay the $3,000. They don't even see you. You're just doing all the stuff in the back end, basically copying the script and pasting it for them. Then turn around and do the same thing you've done 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 times over. Um, Another thing you do if you're like I'll use MSP as an example, uh, or the human resource outsourcing, or really anything here. If you're actually an MSP now and you're capped out at six, $30,000 a month minus whatever your cost is, um, but you know what your conversions are, you could actually get into the B2B agencies and actually go after the MSPs, right? And help those MSPs with the air agent. You're not actually doing you're an IT person, you're actually not doing the sale. You're just programming the air agent to do it for you for an industry you already know. And you know what your conversion was. You could actually, instead of charging like a retainer model, you could charge a per sale model. So you could charge like $1,000 a sale and $250 monthly residual for the next 12 months. So your LTV on that's like $3,000 per sale, versus the $3,000 monthly retainer. So where you're only making $1,000 profit per business. So for you could basically bring a business in, and if their max capacity is 10, and your LTV per sale is 3,000, that's 10, $30,000 right there off of one business rather than 1,000. So big difference there, because you understand what your conversion is, so you can understand what your profit your what your cost is for air. You understand that it's converting at X, it's converting at this, it's converting at this. So my spend is about $300 per sale. So if you know your spend is $300 per sale, you're charging $1,000, and you're charging another 250. You're making a $3,000 LTV, and your cost is 300 bucks. That's a huge profit margin, massive, massive profit margin. Um, so those are some ideas. The next video, when we get into it, we're actually going to show you how to implement these things and actually how to make an air agent actually send the payment link. That's really all you need to do. You create the script, that's one thing, but we're actually going to show you how to get the air agent to actually send a payment link via email and text. So that's the next video we're going to go over. All right, guys, have a great night. And I just want to leave off. Don't forget the links below, the LinkedIn tree. Click on that. You can schedule a one-on-one free consultation. We can definitely put this together all for you if you like. That's one thing we can do. And or if you're the DIY enthusiast that's kind of watching our videos and trying to figure this out, you can schedule a Q&A session. It's kind of what that's geared for, and we'll help you out that way as well. All right. Well, we'll see you guys on the next video, and we look forward to seeing you in one of those sessions or in that one-on-one. All right. Later.